Yes, people, what's going on? Thought we would do a quick stream just to congratulate Arteta and Ødegaard for winning Manager and Player of the Month, respectively. Coincidentally, the last two Arsenal players to do that since I believe it was Wenger and Giroud. So, yeah, exciting times ahead. We're here to talk about that a bit more. So, without further ado, I brought one guest with me. So, yeah, let's talk about it. Arteta, Ødegaard, manager and player of the month. Let's go. Sorry, guys. Yes, people, what's going on? It's myself, GunnerKing 14, and Breezy, and we are here to discuss player and manager of the month. So, Ødegaard has taken the player of the month award, put in some outstanding performances. Sort of the I guess it'll be from before the World Cup break, right? But yeah, obviously Arteta has been doing his thing. We maintain our position, top of the tree, by 5 points. So yeah, it's great to see them both get the recognition this month for the award, and I couldn't be happier for them. Breezy, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a long time coming. I mean, I think with Mikel, if you look back on his first press conference, he had a set, clear plan that he wanted to go through, and I think we're now starting to see the fruits of it. His recruitment's been pretty much been spot on. I mean, there's a couple of players that obviously still jury's out on. But I mean, he's picked Ødegaard as his captain, and he's obviously given him good faith on and off the pitch. So yeah, I reckon it's been a long time coming, and I think it's an absolute great that we've got our captain and manager is getting the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, man. I mean, sort of in the last couple of games, I think you've seen, against West Ham, I think Brighton, he was outstanding. The assist that he picked out from Martinelli's goal, the first touch pass, absolutely out of this world, and I think Arteta's got to take a lot of credit as well for the midfield shuffle, that he's put into that midfield three and how it's set up. In 2023, we should understand that Ødegaard is not a number 10 player. He's not a number 10 player. He hasn't been a number 10 player for us for some considerable time. And changing his midfield role to an 8, putting him behind Xhaka. This is the other thing, like when you go to the stadium, I went with Gumza to watch the Juventus game. You see the 2-3-5 structure in build-up take place, and you'll see Xhaka further forward than Ødegaard more often than not. And this positional change really has brought a lot out of Ødegaard and Xhaka and obviously Partey as well. So Arteta's really got to take credit for that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And yeah, I mean, this shape definitely did us wonders. In the last month, I'd say 6 weeks. Before the World Cup break, the form that we're in as well, and we've maintained it. Still yet to lose.
I think also having
in any competitive game. So
Yeah, I also think he's had a good pre-season, so he's had everyone there to work with, and he's had a chance to implement his philosophies and plans. And like if you look at any interviews with like the players, they say that he's a tactical genius. Like the stuff that he knows, it's just like in such depth, and I think that's also what helps with as well, that he has a plan for everything, and it's in such detail that the players know if that's not there, then they know to either shift to the left or shift to the right, change formations when they need to. So I think that also is going to be beneficial to Mikel.
Yeah, I think that fluidity that they've got, like the transitioning in game, but also the ability that Ødegaard has to play in a number of positions, definitely can make him useful. Sort of in a number of variation of starting formations and systems that Arsenal use. And look, I personally feel like he is a player that still is value to this club, whether it's rivals or even our own fans, is downplayed. So I've got into a number of arguments, even with our own fan base, that come up with silly tropes and cliches. Oh, he doesn't turn up in big games. When are you going to get a goal and assist in a big game? It's like he's the reason we control possession. Yeah, for anyone to watch Arsenal and think it's a coincidence that we control games better without Ødegaard.
I also think it's what he does, like when he's off the ball as well. I think it's also the runs that he can make. It's also running back to help with defence. It's taking possession of the ball. Obviously making those runs to break the lines. And then when you got someone like Partey who's that solid at the back, who can break the attack, pass it to Ødegaard, and then he can spring Martinelli or Saka onto the attack, and then have enough time to run up there and actually help out with scoring a goal or an assist. I think that's top quality that we've been needing for absolutely ages, and I think that he's just proving it. I just think that's also one of the things that he had an issue with Real Madrid and going out on loan, is that he never had a place where he had could call home. Whereas he's gone into Arsenal, he's settled in. He knows what his role is. He knows he's got the full backing of the manager, full backing of the team, and he can just play his football. And we're seeing the fruits of that now.
Mm. And yeah, I do have to agree. I think the system orientation took a bit of time to get right with him in midfield. As I said, sort of the change to a 3 from a 4-2-3-1, I think has done him tremendous wonders. It's done him the world of good. It's boosted his confidence, his understanding and of the system, where he fits in it, and his ability to contribute and add value to it. I think we've seen a dramatic improvement in his overall game, I think, in the last 12 months. And he's our joint top goal scorer this season.
Yeah, and I think that's also one of the good things about it is also, whereas everyone was saying, all of our goals are going to come from Jesus, and then now you got Ødegaard, he's top scorer, Martinelli, Saka, Xhaka's putting in a couple of goals, even Gabriel is doing a few goals. So he's like, it's a collective team now, obviously relying on doing the goals instead of it just being relying on one person.
Even Nketiah as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no,
I mean, look at what we've done last season.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at something yesterday. In all competitions, Nketiah, Ødegaard, Martinelli, and Saka have 7 goals each. So that's 28 goals between the 4 of them in all competitions, and they've got 43 goal involvements in all comps when you add all their assists to that 28 goal tally as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 43 goal involvements. They're all under the age of 24. Ødegaard's the oldest. He's the captain, and you still got ESR and Jesus to factor into that equation as well.
And potentially a Mudryk.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is it. Like Mudryk coming along, that front line starts to look scary. Well, if it isn't already, to be honest.
And the thing is, like Mudrik's pace is absolutely frightening. Like if you've got him and Martinelli on both sides, just literally running at it with Jesus and Odegaard, that's electric. That's not taking anything away from Saka, but I'm just saying if you've got that kind of pace breaking the lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think Saka's quick as well. But I think like if you just imagine like that Brighton goal that Martinelli scored, where Odegaard did play the ball in behind. Someone like Mudryk getting on the other end of that with his pace, with his trickery, and with his ability to shoot as well with either foot. Listen, he's going to love playing with Ødegaard if when he eventually joins. I think those two will have a really good chemistry. Ødegaard will probably be who he's looking to supply him, to play balls to him into the channels. In that sort of vein, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, to give him that sort of service that he can get on the end of. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah, I also think adding Zinchenko into that as well when we go into like a back three, when Zinchenko goes into the midfield with Mudryk and Ødegaard. I mean, that's just going to be some quality play.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mudryk and Zinchenko are Ukrainian internationals, and for the most part, they both play on that same side. So, they'll be doing the same thing for Arsenal as well. And I think, I think that can only be a huge plus for us, really. And in the grand scheme of things, I think things are just looking very good. I think Ødegaard and Arteta winning this award, kind of really is a testament to where this club's come from and where it's looking to go during this season. We find ourselves in this title race. And, I think if we are to succeed in it, Ødegaard's going to be a massive part of that, not just with his goals and assists, which he's definitely ramped up on significantly this season. But with his overall leadership and, as you said, what he brings off the ball. In terms of Breezy, how do you see our chances for the rest of this season? Do you think we got a chance at this title? Do you think it's a bit of a pipe dream? What's your stance on that?
It was always getting through to sort of January before I could kind of really say anything, because normally we always sort of dip off form sort of around January, February time, and we always seem to get a few injuries. I mean, and we've had injuries and we still came on top. So, I mean, there is definitely the potential there. I mean, to go back to, I think it was either last year or the year before, where City were behind and Liverpool were the front runners, and then they needed to call back things like 12 points. And they went on a massive win streak, and they ended up winning it by, I think it's a point. So I'm always very wary before I say, yes, we can do it. I just think is if we get the right people in January, and hopefully get a centre mid in just to help out with Partey and Elneny, there's reasonable. I think like the next 7 games, we've got Manchester United, City, Spurs. If we get through that with some points, then and we start building a bigger gap, then there's no reason why we can't do it.
Yeah, and I think that's the way that I look at it as well. I think we need to, kind of look to the market now. I think, if we can bring in one more midfield number, that'll be great. I know that might be business that we look to evaluate in the summer. I think targets like Declan Rice being linked to us as well, but
you also got Piero. I mean, Luis from Villa. I mean, his contract is up. You got Tielemans as well.
Oh no, Luis renewed his contract.
Oh, did he? Oh, damn.
Yeah. Luis renewed his contract. Yeah, but I don't know. Like their situation at the end of the season might be a bit. It might still make it possible. I think really they might have extended the contract to maintain his value, but it'll definitely be interesting. And I think, that's an area that we got to look at. Do we look at that in January now as well at the end of the season? I've been seeing other links. I don't know if you've seen any to Milinkovic-Savic from
Yeah,
Lazio,
I've seen that.
and there's talk that Newcastle might go in January, and I think that's a player that Arteta admires, but wanted to wait until summer. If they make a serious bid, will he bring his bid forward? Like that would be, I think he'd be great for us. Because I don't know if we'll get a 6 in this window, but yeah, if we can get an 8, that can offer you a bit more defensively, then I'm all for that as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they were saying with Milinkovic-Savic, I think they were saying it was like a 10 mil loan fee with an obligation to pay. I think it was 35 or 32 in the summer. So there is a potential there that they could get done. It just depends if it's something that we were looking to do now or in the summer.
I definitely don't see Lazio doing a loan to buy thing for Savic because, yeah, it's midway through season, only 2 weeks left in the window. He's a hugely important figure to that team. I think the only way they let go of him now would be, I think, money. Lots of it as well. I think 50, 60 million euros, pounds even actually. They'll be looking at. But look, I think in terms of Odegaard, sort of, and the partners that he's worked with, whether it's Xhaka, whether it's Vieira when he's come in, whether or not it could be Ødegaard or someone in the future. Sorry, it could be Savic or another player in the future. I'm sure we'll get it right. Is there anyone in particular that you're looking at? Sort of this January after Mudryk or hello, hello. Not sure what's happening.
Sorry, just had a phone call.
That's fine.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was saying, is there anyone that you're looking at in the January window that catches your eye after Mudryk, like for our midfield, or as an ideal partner for Ødegaard longer term? Because obviously we look at Xhaka. Like, listen, I got nothing against Xhaka. I think he's playing really well, but obviously what I want to do is future-proof this squad, and by that I mean like Liverpool got left in a situation where all of a sudden they trusted the midfielders they had there too much, and by the time they realised they had to replace them, it's too late, and they've already lost the ascendancy because they didn't replace them quickly enough. I want Xhaka's replacement in the squad before Xhaka's ready to finish. So he's working with Xhaka on the training pitch, so he's learning like the Arsenal style of play and the system and the ethos, so he can like slot in. I mean, is there anyone that you're looking at midfield wise that you think will be good for that sort of situation?
I mean, there is a couple of people that I do like, but the chances of getting them are highly unlikely. I do like Camavinga from Real Madrid, but obviously he's just signed and he'll be extortion amount of money. But I do like Gravenberch from Bayern. Again, I think obviously that's out of the question because he's obviously going to be too expensive.
He just signed for them as well, I think, this season.
Yeah, I think it was last season he signed, but I think it's like a 5-year contract, so yeah, he won't be anytime soon. To be honest, I would like to see maybe. I know he's more of an attacking midfielder, but I would like to see Vieira. I just think, obviously, because he can play centre mid, and I just think with him, obviously having more of a technical awareness as well, with Partey behind him and Ødegaard, or even the Smith Rowe there, maybe play 2 attacking mids. I think that would be pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I think that is the long-term plan with Ødegaard and Vieira. I just think it's like the physical side, that they need to brush up on with Vieira. Sort of his pressing, his physical strength, just his athleticism in general. So I'm sure that'll be longer term what they adhere to. Big up Temi in the cup. Hope all is good.
So I think if you remember when Martinelli came in, and obviously Mikel basically dropped him for a period of time because he wasn't fit enough, strong enough to deal with the Premier League, and then all you saw was his workouts, and then he came back, and then he's now the player that we have got now, which is absolutely quality. So I think that's also something he's trying to do with Vieira.
Yeah, no, I think he had to do it with Ødegaard as well. Work on his physical conditioning early on. I think Ødegaard picked up an injury fairly quickly as well. So I think part of that rehabilitation process would have been, sort of doing, sort of working more on the physical side of his game as well. So I've definitely got, no doubt whatsoever that, that the best is still yet to come from both of them, Vieira and Ødegaard. And I do think they'll grow into that role of playing there together. And I mean, long may that sort of continue to be something we work towards. To be honest, I think because I think that would be you get a lot of high level of technical security playing those two together. In terms of keeping possession and creativity, getting the ball into the box. Wow, that would be something else.
I know this is probably gone a bit off topic, but what would you do with Sambi? Would you loan him or would you sell him?
I think we should loan him. I think we should loan him and assess him after a loan. I mean, I've always said that I don't think he's had a fair, sustained, and continued run in the league. If I'm being honest. I think give him a loan and then let's see where he goes from there. But listen, this was just a quick update show. We didn't want to keep this too long, so I know that you've got things to do as well. We're going to wrap this up by once again saying big congratulations to Arteta and to Ødegaard for winning manager and player of the month in the EPL this season. And I think, look, it comes at a timely point, where we are just about to play the dead chickens, Spurs at White Hart Lane. So, that's a huge win for me. Gonna go with the goal celebration. But guys, if before we leave, there's one thing that I need you to do. Can you smash the likes? If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so. Please. Like, comment, subscribe if you've got any questions or any queries relating to the content of this show or indeed any others. Feel free to leave some comments in the video. We'll get back to them afterwards. But guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. It's been great to speak to you guys. Brezzy, thanks for jumping on once again.
No worries, buddy.
And manager of the month, player of the month, going into that North London derby. Hopefully, this helps us collect the 3 points this weekend. I'm out, people.
Bye.